Hello and welcome to my world. This is my story, and my name is Abiola Segun-Williams. Today we're going to be talking about domestic violence because this month is on domestic violence awareness. So please click that button, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Now, there's this aburo of mine that I met on Instagram. Then I was talking about what a lot of women have gone through, are going through, will go through if they do not make wise decisions about whomsoever they get married to. So she contacted me and we started talking. And she let me know that she had endured and gone through so much with her husband. She has 3 children, and this man had almost succeeded in damaging her mentally, emotionally, and he didn't succeed in damaging her too much physically. But she had lost a lot of her own worth in the course of that marriage. He would beat her, he would abuse her, he would belittle her. He was always having girlfriends, and generally maltreating her, abusing her financially as well. She was going through everything. Initially, she wasn't talking. She wasn't telling anybody what she was going through. It got to a point. She looks like the shadow of herself. Lost a lot of weight. She was skinny. Her family had to intervene. What's up? What's happening? Then she was forced to talk and tell them what her experiences had been like. Because now she needed help. She needed help financially as well because he wasn't helping financially at home. So the little money that she was making, she was still investing in her children. And if there was an issue between them, he would take it out on his responsibilities to his children. Maybe not pay school fees or not buy food in the house. And so she had to depend on her family for support. And that's how they knew what was happening. And guess what? His family, instead of encouraging the man to do what was right, were supporting him. Even his sisters. You would think that sisters will be more sympathetic and empathetic because they too will be going through some yawa in their own marriages. So they'll be more empathetic. If you don't want certain, you're a woman. You should understand what another woman is going through and be able to put yourself in their situation. But what I have found out, especially with Nigerian women, is that when they are going through stuff in their marriages, they feel that other women too should go through stuff. Everybody should be chopping breakfast all over the world. So rather than support you and understand your situation and help you, they would be engineering and igniting their own brother to continue doing the same thing to another woman. Can it be well with those kind of human beings? I doubt it. Anyway, and now it turns out that one of her sisters-in-laws, in fact, the 2 of them, were facing terrible situations in their own marriages as well. You would think that as a result of what they were going through, that they would identify with her, but no. They were putting petrol in the fire so that it can ignite. So what did she do? She fled. She fled with her children. She had been planning it systematically without the man knowing, with the support of her family. Got passports for her children, was able to get approval, got visa. He had no idea what was going on. One day he came back home and the house was empty. He didn't know, and she didn't tell her mother because she knew that she would be the first person that he would call So she didn't tell her mother that what she was planning. And so off she went to Canada with her children. And because he just didn't used to come home regularly or care, those kind of men that can go for days. So she was able to plan everything. And he would be the kind of person that had girlfriends. So he won't call home to say, how are you guys? Are you okay? He wasn't doing that. So she could successfully plan it. It was when he now came home and saw that the woman had gone with the children that he was now running from pillar to post, from helter to skelter, like Pastor Chris will say. Was running all over the world. But by which time she had gone, and she was not sorry. She was able to breathe easy. It's been years now since it happened. He has been able to see his children. They're now grown up. They're teenagers. They saw what was happening, so they were happy to leave that situation. And you can't come and steal them. They don't live in Nigeria. They're outside of the country now. So after a while, the woman agreed that he could come and see them and let him know where they were. And so he came to see his children. He doesn't pay school fees still, but he gives them allowances when he has the money. So I'm personally happy. Personally happy for her. Another situation that happened was this woman, another woman entirely, has 2 twin boys. I read this in Facebook. And the husband came home and said he wanted egusi soup and swallow. But she had made yam and vegetable soup. So she was saying, okay, just eat this one tonight. And tomorrow I'll make the egusi soup. The man said, no, it's egusi soup that I want. The man said, please manage this one. Another time I will make egusi soup. Do you know what this man did? Took his phone and called his colleague, a woman at the office. Of course, she was at home by now. Called her and said, please, I want to eat egusi soup. Please make me some egusi soup. And the woman said, of course, come over and eat. You see how some women are the ones that are helping men to abuse women. A married man that is a married man with 2 children. You can't say, you want egusi soup and when then? Where's your wife? Or you can't order egusi soup. You now tell him to come to your house to eat egusi soup. And the man goes to eat egusi soup and does not return that day. Comes back home the following day and finds out that his wife and children are no longer there. They had commuted. So he's now furious. But what kamfa? What rubbish? How can you go with my children? This and the other. The woman didn't respond though. But the responses on Facebook was that if you wanted to eat egusi, you could have called you. If you didn't tell her, maybe by the time you were leaving work or you were leaving for work in the morning, you didn't feel like egusi. Sometime during the day you felt like egusi, you would have called your wife. My honey sweetie pie, please, can you make egusi for me? So that she can then now start preparing towards egusi. Or you come back home, insist on egusi, saying that it was something else. Okay, order for egusi now. There's so many options. You now tell another woman to cook egusi for you. You go there to eat it and you don't even return. You sleep there. Total disrespect, total disregard, complete humiliation and disgrace for your wife. Of course, it was the men. I found that so interesting. That a few men that commented said, she's very stubborn. Another one said, Eh, if the man had several wives, maybe one will not be saying, I won't cook this. Completely missing the point. The point is that of value. How do you value your wife, who is a reflection of you? Do you value yourself? The thing is, if you're so absorbed in yourself, you will not see the value of another person. You will rate your own value above that of another human being. What makes your life more valuable than the life of somebody else? Blood runs in both of your veins. You're both human beings. One was not created less than the other. You're not superior to the woman by any means. So the woman left. When you place a value on yourself more than somebody else, it shows that you're a narcissistic person. My mother-in-law told me the story when she was alive, God rest her soul, of one of her acquaintances. You know, in those days, they used to commute between Lagos and Abeokuta quite a bit. So this couple lived in Abeokuta. And she said to me that this woman's husband never lifted a finger in their house, never did anything. That it was a woman that did everything. She washed, she cleaned, she cooked, she did everything. And on top of which, she'll bring out his clothes. She'll iron them. She will flush the toilet when he goes to poop or pee. I said, what? He can't flush the toilet by himself. She's the one. After he has pooped, he will call her that he has finished. She should go and flush. I said, this, whoa. Such abuse. And the woman too will go and flush. You know, what used to pain me when she said, because sometimes my mother-in-law will repeat those stories, Every time I heard it would infuriate me. She said when there is no water, she will have to go and fetch water from the tank downstairs and carry it upstairs all the way to flush toilets. For a man who is not lame, is not disabled in any way, is not a handicap, has his legs, his hands complete. That kind of woman who has been enslaved will look older than her age, will be one. There's a friend of mine who was engaging me in this conversation about women who, when their children have children, they now go and do omugo. And they stay for years, especially when those children live abroad. Now, why do they do that? It's very unfair to leave the man like that, abandon him. I said, excuse, what did that man do when he was younger? How did he treat that woman? For example, this Abeokuta woman that I was just talking about, if she has the opportunity to go and do omugo for any of her children, she will go. She will carry the sand of that house and not look back. Because then she will be free. Why is it that men have no respect whatsoever? Well, not all men. Some men have no respect for their wives, do not value them. Now you feel that your wife is a beast of burden to do everything for you? She's not a maid. She's not a servant. She's not a slave. Why then do you expect her to be enslaved, to do everything for you when you have your own hands and legs? Coming closer to domestic abuse, as in violence, physical violence, there was this lady who, before she got married, had sworn that if her husband ever touched her violently. That was it. She was walking out of the marriage, and they were both Christians. So 2 weeks before the marriage, whilst they were planning the wedding, there was some disagreement of opinions about how to do what not, The man got so angry that he decked her, slapped her. So what did the woman do? Everybody prevailed on her. Her parents, her in-laws begged her. So she continued with the marriage because it was 2 weeks to the wedding. So she continued with the wedding. Hey! Once they married, begedeg be not, as in jam scatter. The man started beating her. Any small thing goes. Any small thing pass. Nobody told her. As in, she ran for her dear life. By now, they had a small baby. She ran because the man was going to kill her. Now, the question I always ask that perplexes me is that why do people ask the woman when she goes to say, my husband is beating me, and they will now say, what did you do? What has what she did got to do with somebody beating her? Because if there were two men, would you beat your fellow man if he wrongs you? You will talk it out now. If it now becomes a blow issue, you will fight it down. That's a man that has strength like you. But a woman that cannot fight you, you now beat her black and blue. Even if you don't beat her blue, that you beat her black is enough. You beat her when you one, which reminds me of another story that one dear old woman told me. She's a pastor's wife, and in their church they see all these cases. So there was this man who said the wife had come to report that she had had enough. She wants to go. So they were trying to placate her. What happened? She said, this man, anytime he's upset, he will punish her, tell her to kneel down, close her eyes, and raise her hands. When I heard it, I first laughed. I said, how are you doing it? I don't understand. A full-grown woman, somebody tells you kneel down, you too, you kneel down. You too, you kneel down and close your eyes and raise your hands. For why? Because of when even your children, when they get to a stage, you can no longer punish them. How then do you punish a full-grown woman? She too, she will do it. So when they asked the man, she said he loves his wife too much. He can't beat her. Can't beat her with black belt or with cane or stick, so he punishes her anytime she's upset and angry or she's done something to offend. What gives you that audacity? What gives you that right that you feel that you can punish your wife because of why? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Please. I thank the Lagos State government too, that Lagos State is spearheading this fight against domestic violence. And it goes for both ways. I'm not for women hitting their husbands. I'm not for women abusing their husbands in any way. But because we have it more predominant that men beat their wives and kill them in the process, this must stop. Your wife is your partner. Anything way past talk, please leave it. Leave it. I talk to you, you talk to me. I talk to you, you talk to me. Once your hand is raising like this, no. It must never be tolerated. So, thank you so much. Please engage in the comment section. Leave your comments, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much. See you soon. Bye.